All right, let's jump right in. We're going to be talking about an absolute giant today, a brand that's, a household name for literally over a billion people. We're doing a deep dive, a strategic analysis of India's undisputed dairy king, Amul.
So to really wrap your head around this story, you've got to start with this one fact. India, it's the number one, the single largest milk producer on the entire planet. I mean, we're talking about a vast ocean of dairy.
And in that massive ocean, one player just rose above everyone else. But here's the thing. This is not your typical, suit and tie corporation. This is Amul. It's an empire, a cooperative empire, built and owned by the very farmers who supply its milk. Think about that.
And that really brings us to the big question for this whole explainer, right? How on earth did they build this incredible kingdom? And maybe even more importantly, can they actually defend their crown? Because there's a whole new wave of challengers knocking at the gates.
Okay, so first things first, let's really get a sense of the scale of this kingdom. See, Amul isn't just a player on the market. For millions and millions of people, it is the market. We're seriously talking about dairy royalty here.
And their strategy, it's been brilliantly simple, but oh so effective. For decades, Amul has just positioned itself as the go-to brand for everyday dairy. If you're in India and you need milk for your chai, butter for your pav, cheese for a quick snack, chances are you're reaching for Amul. It's almost automatic.
And this right here, this is basically Amul's magic formula, all summed up in one sentence. And what's so powerful is that it's not just one of these things, it's all of them working together, right? Trusted? Yeah, because they've been around for over 70 years. Indian? Absolutely. It's farmer-owned, it feels like it belongs to the country. Value for money? For sure. It's affordable for everyone. And available everywhere? Well, trust me, we are definitely going to get to that.
So the big question is, how do you protect a kingdom this big? Well, every great castle has a moat, right? A defense system. And I'm telling you, Amul's moat is one of the deepest and widest you will find anywhere in the business world. It's legendary.
Okay, and the absolute foundation of that moat, the bedrock of their entire defense, is this one idea, the dairy cooperative model. It sounds kind of simple, but it changes everything. Just think about it for a second. The people producing the milk are the very same people who own the company.
And look at how this works. It creates this incredible, powerful cycle. Step 1, the farmers are the owners. That means they have a guaranteed, stable buyer for all their milk. Step 2, this whole structure cuts out the middlemen, so cost stays super low. And step 3, and this is the magic part, the profits don't go to some faceless shareholders in a big city. Nope, they go right back to the farmers, back into their communities. It creates loyalty, stability. It's like a self-reinforcing fortress.
So you've got that foundation, and then built on top of it are these 4 massive walls of the fortress. You've got a distribution network that's just everywhere, every corner of the country. You've got prices that pretty much anyone can afford. You have over 70 years of brand trusts. I mean, everyone knows the Amul girl, right? And finally, a product range that is just massive. From milk and butter to ice cream and even chocolate. They've got it all.
And look, when we say their distribution network is big, we're not kidding around. We're talking over 1 million retail stores. 1 million! That's not just a supply chain, that's practically a national institution. I mean, just try competing with that. Good luck.
But, of course, right? In a market this massive with so much at stake, you're always going to have challengers, people at the gates, trying to figure out a way to cross that incredible moat.
So first up, you've got a big name, Britannia. Now they're smart. They're not trying to fight Amul head-on with fresh milk. No way. Instead, they're going after the higher margin stuff, the value-added products like fancy cheeses and premium dairy snacks. They're basically attacking the profitable fringes, not the core kingdom.
And then you have a true global giant, Nestle. This is a classic showdown, It's scale versus specialty. Amul has the raw power of its farmer network and that unbeatable mass market reach. Nestle, on the other hand, brings its huge global R&D muscle. And they're focusing on premium stuff. Yogurts, fancy milk drinks, all targeted at the higher-end consumer.
And you absolutely cannot forget the local champions. These are the state-level cooperatives like Nandini down in Karnataka. On their home turf, they are incredibly powerful. They've got deep local loyalty, and honestly, they can sometimes beat Amul on price and even freshness right there in their own backyard.
Okay, so this scorecard really puts the whole competitive landscape into perspective, and you can see it clear as day, right? Amul absolutely dominates on its home ground: fresh milk, daily staples, farmer integration. But then, look over at premium brand perception. Whoa, Nestle and Britannia are way, way higher. And this table just lays out the strategy perfectly. Amul owns the core, the massive center of the market, while everyone else is trying to chip away at those profitable premium edges.
So, this all brings us to a really important question. Amul's fortress is strong, no doubt about it, but no wall is perfect. And if you look closely, you can start to see some potential cracks in the armor.
Yeah, let's just ask it straight up. With all these super focused competitors, and with consumer tastes changing all the time, is this fortress really truly impenetrable forever? So, looking inside the castle walls, you find something interesting. Amul's greatest strength, being that affordable, value-for-money brand, is also kind of a weakness. It makes it harder for them to be seen as a premium choice. They've also been a bit slower to jump on new digital marketing trends. And then there's the sheer cost of that cold chain. I mean, just imagine the logistics, the money it takes to keep millions of liters of milk perfectly cold across a country the size of India. It's immense.
And then you look outside, and the world is definitely changing. As people earn more, they start premiumizing. They're willing to pay extra for organic, for gourmet, for something special. You've got the rise of vegan and plant-based milks, which is a real thing with younger consumers. And of course, there's always another big global brand just waiting for their chance to break into the massive Indian market.
But here's the thing. The king is not just sitting there on the throne doing nothing. Oh no. Amul is very aware of these threats, and they are making some big strategic moves to defend that crown.
And it's basically a three-pronged battle plan. First, defend the core. They're pushing even deeper into rural markets where their value-for-money message is strongest. Second, attack new territory. They're launching their own premium products, like gourmet cheeses, to fight back. And third, modernize. They're finally getting serious about engaging with younger folks online, where the conversation is happening.
So, to kind of wrap this all up, this chart tells the story pretty well. Look at those bars for market leadership and competitive advantage. They are sky high. Amul is still the king. But that threat level bar? It's not critical, but it's not low either. It's a solid medium. And the threat isn't a full frontal assault on the castle. It's all those smart, niche players nibbling at the edges.
And that leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. For more than 70 years, Amul's incredible power came from being the brand for everyone in India, the default choice. But as the market splinters, as people want more specialized, personalized products, maybe the biggest challenge is this: to win the next 70 years, does Amul have to stop being a brand for everyone and become a brand for someone? The answer to that? Well, that's going to define the entire future of India's dairy kingdom.